So the Muddy Bull was evolved from several guys inside the organization felt a need for certain features in a box blind that our competitors were lacking.
Never that tree you wanted right on top of the ridge where all the deer were, right? So we started putting blinds up there. And then we started to see how effective they were from ascent and thermal and wind control, and we were like, holy cow. And then Muddy took that one step further with the Bull, and I mean, they made the ultimate box blind in our opinion.
Muddy came to us and said, we want you to test these things out. We want to hear your thoughts on these blinds. So we got this blind, this prototype blind, and we set it up out there and we started hunting out of it. And then you shot that really nice deer out of there late season.
And Carson shot the one earlier in the same fall.
Yeah, we got two bucks the first year we had these things. Of course, we were sold as Muddy box blind people at that point.
I used to think that box blinds were made for, honestly, people who couldn't hack it. I started to think about the potential and the functionality that a box blind provides. And then when Muddy came out with the Bull box blind and I saw it and I saw the features, my mind started rolling. I was like, this is something that I can really use on my property. And after a year using it, I can now say from personal experience that it is one of the best investments I've made. It truly is a game changer.
Like 2 years prior to coming on the market, we had multiple meetings with those guys saying, here's what we want, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and they literally went down the alphabet and gave us everything we asked for.
There was three main factors we were looking at: scent control, noise control, and thermal control.
The first time I stepped in one, I was like, oh my goodness, man, home run. The shelf up front, the one-handed window operation, how quiet everything is, and just how scent-proof those blinds are. All things wrapped into one. I mean, it is the ultimate blind.
We made sure that we had the best materials.
Everyone sat in those box blinds with the plexiglass windows or no windows at all, and the air transfer back and forth, you know, from a scent and thermal standpoint does absolutely nothing for you. And that's one of the areas that the Bull blind just absolutely blows the competition out of the water.
The windows have got the latches where they're adjustable. You can tighten them just a little bit and suck that window down, and it's scent control to the ultimate or nth degree.
You don't have to worry about your scent.
And they're very quiet, sitting there, opening the windows, all of that. They're super quiet.
One of the main features we wanted to create was a silent window that was one-hand operable.
Opening the windows, time to shoot, you know, moment of truth. They're so easy to open up. You slide whatever window open you need to.
Very versatile, whether you're out there with a firearm in hand or whether you're bow hunting, because you have the horizontal windows, but you also have those verticals in the corners for the bow hunting.
360 degrees, buddy, that's what I like. You know, if you had a deer out in front of you, it was one thing, because you expected that, but when you got them behind you and you could open up a window with ease, one-handed, it was just a no-brainer as far as we were concerned. You killed one out of a Muddy this year, did you not?
With a bow, I did. I shot him out of the vertical. I saw him out of the horizontal on the right side of the blind. Actually, it was a 360 deal because I was looking back this way. I had just pulled the blind there like 4 or 5 days prior to that. We built it, pulled it there because all the trees were too short. It was brushy. I felt like this was his bedding area. Put the blind in place, and like 4 or 5 days later, killed him at 4 steps. Back. Oh, baby. God. We got him. We just killed danger.
I think the number one thing that I love most about hunting out of the box blind is late season, cold temperatures. It's easier for me to stay warm because you know how cold I can get and how easy it is for me too.
Say it's 30 degrees outside temperature, wind chill takes it down, let's say 15 above. Even without a heater, I'll bet it's 20 to 40 degrees warmer inside those blinds.
For hunters, one of our worst enemies is the elements, and the Bull blind allows you to beat the elements, to be out in them when, you know, you wouldn't even be able to sit in a tree stand.
We used to sit in a tree stand and you'd be frozen. In 2.5 to 3 hours, you were literally frozen solid.
That big 10-pointer that I shot here in Minnesota that year. Sitting there late season, I was actually pregnant. And so, I mean, I couldn't sit, you know, extended period of time. And it was sub-zero temperatures outside, and went to the Muddy Bull blind and out he came. And never even once paid attention to the blind, never even looked up at it, nothing. We got him. Oh my gosh, look at that. Big old mature buck. That is awesome. Look at him.
The Thermatech panels, the quality, the construction, and what that means for a hunter sets the bull blind apart.
High winds, torrential downpours, snow, high heat. Before we put it out in the market, we had to make sure that this product was capable of sitting out in the elements for years to come.
The best thing that I like about them is you can take your kids out there and they can have a positive experience by hunting out of these things.
We're seeing more families where it's mom and dad and either a youngster, a little boy or a little girl that's learning how to hunt.
Our kids have hunted at them the last couple years since we got them, and we have shot some nice bucks.
See passion and excitement grow within someone new to the sport, that makes the bull blind worth every single penny.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Good job.
shooting.
Now, could I get a picture?
Yeah, time to take some social media, Facebook pictures for the girls and the boys and whoever else she's going to send it to.
Pretty awesome.
If you're a person who's serious about managing your property, a person who's into food plots, the bull blind is a no-brainer.
We used to always talk about planting to the tree or picking the tree and then putting the plot to you. Now you can basically put the tree or the blind wherever you want it, put most of the deer upwind of your position with food, and to me it's the most effective way to go out and kill a deer.
The ability to control your scent, the ability to hunt when the wind is less than favorable, I mean that's pretty much every single hunter's dream scenario, and that's what the bull blind offers.
There were times where we killed deer where we were like, we shouldn't have killed that deer. Out of a tree stand, we would have not killed that deer. We wouldn't even have had him within range, but they mask so much from your movement to your scent, they just allow you to get away with murder, literally.
In addition to that, it allows you to hunt anywhere you want, anytime you want, in any weather condition.
My first year hunting with the bull blind provided me an opportunity to watch my son harvest his first deer. It provided me an opportunity for me to harvest the biggest buck of my hunting career, maybe one of the biggest bucks that I'll ever kill. I know for a fact that we would have not been in a position to have any of those things happen if it wasn't for the bull blind.
You shot that really nice buck. Our kids have had great hunting experiences on them. Every year during late season, we don't even think about hunting out of a tree stand hardly anymore. I mean, we go and sit in our blinds.
But once you start hunting out of a blind and you have the ability to put it where you want it, and you can mask your scent and your visual, then man, I'm telling you, there's just no better way to kill a mature deer than out of a blind, in my opinion.
The equipment that you purchase as a hunter is an investment, and the bull blind is one of the best investments as a hunter that you can make. It's truly going to offer you a return on investment year after year after year.